Hi, my name is Jack. The paper I chose was CRISPR, a new toolbox for better crops. The most important idea I got from that paper about genetically modified plants in the food system was that CRISPR technology allows scientists to develop traits in plants in a short time rather than a long period like with traditional breeding. The paper I thought was most synergistic with mine was why people need genetically modified foods. And this is because with the growing population, we need to feed it quickly, and with genetically modified crops, we can increase yield in a short amount of time rather than having to do traditional breeding to increase yield. So this will satisfy the world's needs.
Hi, my name is Alicia Durkee. My paper is titled Transgenics, a New Breed by Daniel Cressy. This article outlined the benefits of genetically modified crops. The benefits seem to be more on the producer's side of the business than on the consumers. For example, the addition of herbicide tolerance allows the farmer to apply less applications of herbicides, killing weeds and not affecting the crop. There is new technology that allows genes to be edited within a plant's own genome instead of importing genes from a different species. This seems to be the biggest concern among consumers and GM crops. The paper CRISPR, a new toolbox for better crops, relates to this by restating the difference between adding genes and editing genes.
All right, so my name is Annie Benzine, and the paper that I had was a hard look at GM crops, a case study. And the main fact about this paper was it was focusing on the debunking the myths of genetically modified crops. It highlighted a truth, falsify, and an unknown that's still being researched today. The first one was looking at the truth that the introduction of GM cotton in the South has increased the likeliness of superweeds. So that is where that article discusses that and how there are different risks involved. And so the one that it is synergenic with is with the article Transgenics, a New Breed, which discusses a lot of the benefits of GM crops and how they can benefit producers, whereas mine, like I stated, really focuses on some of the negative effects, one being the introduction of the superweeds that they're trying to combat now in Georgia.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Simmers. I chose to do In a Grain of Golden Rice as my own reading, and this describes how the origins of golden rice are rooted in good intentions from scientists as wanting to introduce a dietary supplement into a lacking plant. It also describes how difficult it can be to get the public to agree with this interpretation and how difficult regulation and beliefs of GM crops make the release. One that I thought my article synergized with is Roundup Ready soybean, and I thought they related well because they were both early GM crops, and they both discuss how they appeal to both public and farmers, and also speak largely about how regulation causes difficulty in the release of these GM crops to the markets. Even though genetically modified crops can be created relatively quickly, getting them through regulations of safety and then convincing consumers that they're good is difficult.
Hi, my name is Sadie Green, and the paper I chose was Roundup Ready soybean patent expiring. The most important idea I got from this paper was that first generation Roundup Ready soybeans were the world's most adopted biotech trait, and it has been planted on billions of acres since 1996. But unfortunately, the patent is expiring because plant patents only last 20 years. Farmers favored these soybeans, and with the expiring patent, there are still rules and regulations that will still be enforced. The paper I thought closely related to mine was In the Grain of Golden Rice because it talks about the difficulties with rules and regulations and patents needed for GM crops. GM crops are closely monitored by the government.